Hey yo, what's up with y'all? How y'all doing? In this video, we will be going over the most common mistakes and how to fix them. And I know we all make mistakes, even I make mistakes. So I thought to myself and put together 10 common mistakes that we all make. And this will really be useful for the beginners. And shout out to my boy for the recommendation, even though he recommended this like a while ago. But still, watch this video all the way through. And I guarantee that you will learn something, whether it be a small change or a big change. But without any further ado, let's get into it. Okay, one of the main issues that we have is when we try to edit on someone, we make a mistake and leave our map out. Like I'll edit, right? Let's say like I want to do a double edit, right? And I start with my map in my hand. It's very common, right? Double edit. And you see, when it's time to shoot, I will have to tap switch mode and then pull up my shotgun and shoot. When I could just, build a build, right? Build, floor cone, pull out my gun, and then double edit. 1, 2, and look at that. My pump is out. As long as you start with your pump out and then edit, this won't happen. Pump out, look, pump, edit. My pump naturally just pops in my hand. And the only exception to this is when you're trying to box someone. Is when you edit, place the builds in, and then tap switch mode and pull out your gun. That's the only exception to this. There is no other way to do this, well, not that I know of, unless you build everything, reset, and then edit. That's probably the only way. But you don't want to do that unless they're already looking at you. I box them, they see me, so I map reset, then I edit again, or just pick another edit or something like that, and then I shoot. That's the only way. But like I said earlier, if it's involving a double edit, make sure you have your gun out first. So I build, right? Pull up my map, double edit, gun out. Same thing, build a wall, pull up my gun, edit, pump first. So like if I did a triple edit on someone like this, 1, 2, 3, gun is out first. I can just shoot the person at that point. Alright, the next common mistake is when we triple edit. And I didn't even notice this myself, but when I triple edit, sometimes I flick too much, right? There is a such thing as flicking too much. Okay, so when you edit, all you have to do is edit the floor like this, and then edit the cone, one tile, just like that. Once you finish that last cone edit, you want to place a wall, and you see how your crosshair is just right here, versus you just double swiping both of them. It'll look like this. You see how more consistent that is, and I get way more done without doing all that extra movement. Once again, it looks like this: cone, floor, double edit, double tile edit. 1, 2, these 2 tiles. Then you look right here where this one tile is, right here with this cone, and tap 1 time. Don't flick up for it. Just look straight and edit. Put that wall, drag down. Very simple. And that's going to save you way more time and make you way more consistent. You see how that's messing me up? That's because I'm not doing it right. Alright, when approaching a box, there's only 2 things you need to worry about, right? Is what are you going to do when they edit on you, and what do you do when they're in the box? Alright, so what you don't want to do is run up to the box just swinging, right? You don't want to swing. You don't want to just jump in, just get all up on the wall, because you can get pre-fired. I promise you can. First, you don't want to make the approach of just being in front of the box like this. You want to at least be off to the side with a wall or 2 walls, at least a wall. And if you do manage to be in front of the box, right, like right here, trying to get a pre-fire or whatever, you want to make sure you have a cone. If it's not a cone, put it around. Make sure you have something, at least something. But I do prefer a cone though. But if they do edit on you, right, with the window or peanut butter, you want to edit this cone back, put a wall off to the left side, put a cone, make a box, right? Just make a whole box, make a bunch of boxes. Not really a bunch, but just make 1 box off to the side, right? You can put a wall behind you if you want to, but it doesn't matter because the opponent is right here, and of course that box is open, right? Once you get right here in this whole new area, get off to the side, jump up, and get a nice little peek. You shoot, and you reset that wall, just like that. And a lot of people go for this too, because they don't know this angle is not the easiest angle to hit. Your goal is to get them to edit and reset. You see how the wall is weak and is healing? Once they reset that wall, you can either pump, spray it out, edit a window, pump, spray it out. Either way you want to do it. You can do it both ways, This is the safer way to do it. You can even pickaxe too. It's easy, But I recommend you to break the wall as fast as you can with your pump and AR once they reset. And if they don't have a cone in their box, you can take it, put your own cone, or you can just go for the damage. But let's say they didn't edit on you, right? What do you do then? You would set up 2 cones right here, right? Wall. But you don't want to come to this cone right here, right? Because this is the danger zone. They can see your whole entire body. You want to stay off to this side, right? The only green light for you to stay on top of this cone or go to this side is if you phase a building. And then after that, you want to put a wall, off to the side, edit, put 2 cones. You can swing to the left side, get a nice little peek shot. If you go in too soon without realizing if they see you or not, they will just shoot you. You'll be too busy trying to place cones down. That's only if the person is really, really trying to get out. But you have to notice this change like split second if you want to utilize it. You also want to make sure you have a cone under your feet, because if you're trying to face builds in a box like this, right? It stops you from putting the cone or ramp on, above your head or in the way. Like, let's say I try to face a build, right? I'm trying to, but you see how this ramp just trapped me? Let's say they broke the ramp in their box, right? And now I'm just left with the ramp on my neck. I trapped myself. But if I put a cone down, I prevent that from happening. I can't put a ramp on my neck if there's a cone on my feet. So make sure you're at least doing this. The goal is to get them out of the box. We don't want to go into the defensive just yet. And of course we have the phase, ramp, cone off to the side. We got that trick. But let's say they don't fall for it, right? You can always go to the top, double let it down, just follow them wherever they go. But if you're fighting against a good player and you double let it on them, right? What's stopping them from, putting a wall in between or just a bunch of walls, right? That's another mistake. And not only do they have that, you're also giving them an opportunity to, pretend to fight against you, So what you want to do to eliminate this opportunity is to put a wall first, right? And then double it, That way when they try to put a wall in between, they can't. And also when you double let it, you don't want to be all the way on the right side, because you see how my whole body, I'm showing my whole entire body. If you stand off to the right, you have somewhat of a right hand peek, right? And I do recommend you to jump, and that way you can have a nice little backup after shooting them. And that looks like this. I know I talked about this one in the past, is when you double let it down on the wrong side, you put a cone and everything, and then you edit and you see how like you're wide open. Let's say if somebody were to pump it, right? They would see everything. They could just shoot you when you're done editing, right? But if you do it on the right side right here, you automatically have the right hand peek. Therefore, you wouldn't have to go down to this side and then move all the way to this side and then, jump up and shoot, because you're already there. Another common mistake is when we rush a box, we use our pickaxe most of the time. We run up and we swing at the wall, It's cool, if you're doing the pickaxe bait, like, a quick little. That way, if they do edit, you'll already have your gun aimed at them, so you can get the shot off first. But you can also just use your guns to break the wall, so simple. Simple 1-2. And the combo really doesn't matter, but let's say you want to shoot them with your shotgun, right? Just in case they make an edit or whatever, right? And you're spraying, right? But you start off with your pump shotgun first, which is pump, then spray. You would have to pull out your shotgun just to shoot them, and that takes a while. You would have got shot by then. But let's say you spray, then pump. Now I can take the wall, I can edit, pull my gun out, and just in case they try to pre-fire you, the wall will be low enough for them to shoot their own wall out, and that way you can get a shot on them and build your wall. And also, it doesn't hurt to wait. See, it doesn't hurt, because if you wait with your pump out, it gives you a better chance. It doesn't hurt to wait. And then you wait for them to either edit, or you can either take it yourself, Wait. And that's why I feel like it's best to wait to use your shotgun last. And that's going to fix the common issue with you sitting here with your pickaxe in your hand, getting shot, trying to break a wall, you know. Another common mistake that we make is not making enough space. Let's say you're getting rushed, right? You're getting sprayed and you decide to just sit in this one box this whole entire time, right? This is a big mistake, especially if you're building out of wood. Once they break this wall and get in, what do you have? You have no space to get out or do anything at all. And if you try to edit out like this in the back or to the side, they could just edit this ramp right here and this wall while you're still turned around, and then they can get a free shot on you. So what you want to do is, right, you want to make sure you have one box first, right? And make sure that it's not out of wood, you know? And put a cone in your box, that way they can't claim any builds in your box. And then you want to find out which way they're coming from. Either they're coming from this way in front, the left, the right, behind, either way, you know, either way they're coming from. You want to find out and then go the opposite way, directly back from them. You don't want to go to the left side of them or, you know, any of that. You want to go directly back, you know, because they're coming from this way, right? They're coming from this way. So I want to come back here, right, and make a whole new box back here, right? Now I have space. That's how you make proper space, right? And what I mean by that is, let's say since you made these two boxes, the person is like, you know, just jumping from wall to wall. They're on this wall, right? Automatically you see this, right? You're paying attention, you know where they are. You remember that this wall right here is yours, you know, and even this top, you know, it's like plenty of things you can do. But you know for a fact though, this wall right here is yours, right? So while they're breaking this wall, you jump all the way over here, edit this wall. You can do anything, but like the fact is though, you're taking advantage of the old areas that you claimed. So even if you don't want to use this edit, you could literally just still come through, right? Put a wall, jump into this box, do a peanut butter, edit this cone. You can do whatever you want to do, basically. But you have space. And since you made that space, you have more options. And even if they did get on this wall, you can always still, once again, go back one more box, right? One more box. And let's say they were on this wall, right? The fact that you know how to make space for yourself and go back one more box, it just gives you more options. Once again, you could edit this wall. And it's even better if they're still trying to break that wall. That way, they'll be caught like this. Boom, 100 crack. Or they'll do like this. Swing in that air, boom, 100 crack. Now they gotta go over here and make a new box and do all this other stuff. You never wanna just sit in a regular wooden box. That's gonna get you killed and rushed. Also, you wanna make sure you're not over editing, because if you edit and reset too much, the builds become a quick pickaxe. It don't matter if it's full HP or not, look. So it doesn't matter if you're in a box and you think you're safe just because you did a peanut butter and you reset. The build is still one pickaxe swing, even if it's out of break. You edit, reset, they can just run up on the wall if they want to, break in. Same thing with metal. You edit, reset, it's one pickaxe break. Never just sit there and just reset too much. And that's also why you never want to stand too close to your wall when you're editing it, because if they break it and take it, and you're this close to the wall, what can you do? You have to go all the way over here. You'd be stuck on this edit because you're too close to it. You can't grab it. Or you try to edit the cone back and the cone is like this. The cone is this close to you. You just get caught under your own cone. You really have no time to get back here and make a whole new box. So I recommend you stay back here, right, and edit. Because if they break it and take it, that way you can at least have enough space to go back into a new box. But anyways, that's it for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Thank everybody for watching. And if this video helped you out at all, I would like it if you would leave a like and subscribe, because that helps me, and also it helps you to find me and, you know, more content that I post. But anyways, like I said, I hope y'all have a good night. Peace out. Bye. Burger.